Do you remember when DW ruined her birthday and ran away to rule an island full of mutants? Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. First off, thank you so much for 90,000 subscribers. I've already talked about a fair number of Arthur's feature-length specials, including the 3 holiday movies and the abhorrent abomination that is Arthur's Missing Pal. But as crazy as it sounds, DW's Beastly Birthday might be the worst Arthur special of all time.
No way.
Now I know what you're thinking. How could this special possibly be worse than Arthur's Missing Pal, the dollar bin disaster flick made with a budget of a ham sandwich by a bunch of underpaid non-union scabs? Don't get me wrong, Arthur's Missing Pal looks just as half-baked as it is half-assed, but DW's Beastly Birthday feels like it's trying to be ugly on purpose. So let's celebrate 90,000 subscribers by tearing into what I consider the most revolting Arthur special of all time. But before that, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a hype since I guess that's still a feature. Also, I have some exciting news. The FUDW plushie is finally here. The folks at Give Me Swag have been working hard to get this plushie ready just in time for the holiday season. So whether you love my videos or just really hate a certain model plane wrecking toddler, this is the perfect plushie to add to your holiday wish list. Click the link in the description to order your own FUDW plushie now. The plushie is only available to order until December 28th, so make sure to get yours now before time runs out. Let's not waste any more time and delve right in. This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe and help get this video to 10,000 likes.
And I say,
We're shown the title card for the episode, which shows DW being a passive-aggressive pain. The special hasn't even started yet, and Diva Winifred is already in a bad mood. The Reed house is having a birthday party for DW, and it looks like the birthday brat is having a little trouble blowing out her candles.
This isn't one of those funny candles that won't blow out, is it?
Of course, it's obviously the candle's fault. The Tibble tripes blow out the candle for her, and end up spitting all over the birthday girl. Gross. DW claims she's having the worst birthday in the whole world.
On a girl's 5th birthday?
Now wait just a damn minute. We've already seen DW celebrate her 5th birthday in the Season 3 episode DW's Perfect Wish. I should know because I covered it for my 50th FUDW. That episode aired 2 damn decades before this special, and in that time, DW has somehow managed to repeat the same year.
What if I'm trapped in some kind of time warp and I'll never get any older?
I don't see any other possible explanation, and don't try telling me these 2 parties take place in the same timeline, because that would mean DW had 2 birthday parties, which is 2 more than this prissy princess deserves. DW says she's been nitpicking every aspect of her birthday since the moment she woke up. She whines how the sun isn't shining on her special day, which is ironic given one of her more infamous tantrums.
I'm sick of sunshine. How about some rain around here? Is that too much to ask?
Also, DW, your birthday is in March and you're surprised that it's raining? She tries to imagine having a sunny birthday, but even her daydream turns out to be nightmare fuel. Ugh. Damn it, PBS, stop trying to make the sun scary. We're then introduced to the MacGuffin for the special. Literally, there's a new talking plush toy called Puffin MacGuffin, and DW has spent the last several weeks dropping hints that she wants it for her birthday. And even though DW has the subtlety of a swing to the face, her pea-brain parents are still too dense to get the message.
What was I supposed to do? Shout at the top of my lungs?
That's what you did when you wanted Tina the Talking Tabby, and they still got you the wrong toy. Speaking of which, what happened to your other talking bird plushie? Knowing DW, she probably traded it to the Tibble Trolls for a Mary Moo Cow sticker. Arthur's had enough of Puffin MacGuffin and tells DW where she can stuff that fluff. DW ends up getting a mountain of toys for her birthday, but the single-minded simp still has the gall to complain when she doesn't get the damn Puffin.
Is that it?
To be fair, she's being much tamer than the last time this happened.
I wanted Tina the Talking Tabby!
DW then accuses Emily of trying to upstage her on her own birthday, which sounds ridiculous until we find out Emily brought her own birthday crown.
Mine's bigger.
Okay, I'm actually with DW on this one. What passive-aggressive power play are you trying to pull here, Emily? I know DW ruined your birthday too, but trying to one-up the queen bitch just makes you the bigger bitch. We see the birthday girl sucks at party games, as she chews out Bud for not letting her win. She's also somehow surprised when the Tibble tramps go full Godfather on her piñata.
Already dead.
DW decides she's had enough of her fickle friends and tells them she wants to play hide and seek.
Aw, that's a baby game.
Really, Timmy? Because your mom seems to be good at it, considering she's been hiding from you and your brother for the past 4 years. DW finally snaps. She yells at her petrified friends to do what she says or get the f out. DW has her midlife meltdown in the staircase cupboard, while Bud and the others play hide and seek without her. Boy, take off your damn boots inside the house. DW tells Nadine she doesn't want to be around her friends anymore, and then gets mad when they don't try to find her. Nadine tries to cheer her up with a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory, the island of Ukubanga. Nadine tries to warn DW that the island is designed to give you whatever you want, and Lord knows DW shouldn't have access to that kind of power. DW reads the secret code on the ticket, which leads her to a sailboat with her name on it. That seems rather fitting, considering DW is a literal nautical term for dead weight. The salty sea wench sails the 7 seas until she's confronted by a hungry Cthulhu. The floating purple Patsy Eater tries to chow down on DW until she screams so loud that it agrees to carry her to the island. Leave it to DW to turn an octopus into an octopussy. Meanwhile, Arthur's class is taking a weekend field trip to the planetarium, because of course Mr. Ratburn would make them go to school on a Saturday. Arthur doesn't mind though, as he's glad to have an excuse to avoid DW's birthday party. LaDonna is surprised Arthur would want to miss his sister's birthday, until he reveals he spent her last birthday being DW's horse gimp.
Faster, Unicorny, faster! If you give him a little tap on the tuchus, he goes faster.
The agitated Alicorn refuses to get tag teamed by dominatrix Winifred, until she goes crying to their mommy. Arthur begs his mom to intervene, who tells him to suck it up and put his gag back on. The flashback ends before we see where Emily tries to shove Arthur's horn. The kids head inside the planetarium as Arthur suddenly realizes he forgot to get DW a present. Who cares? Buster mistakes the laser show for a time machine, which randomly prompts the brain to explain how time dilation works.
What was just an hour for you might have been years and years on Earth.
Everybody got that?
The show begins and Arthur immediately falls asleep. Sweet dreams, you big doofus. Speaking of big doofuses, DW finally gets to the island, where she quickly discovers she's not alone. Jesus f***ing Christ. Seriously, what sick, twisted could have possibly dreamed up these unholy abominations? Just looking at these feral fetuses makes my eyeballs want to throw up. The brain-rot barbarians are about to tear DW to shreds, until she reveals she has the golden ticket. By some leap of logic, the monsters go from wanting to kill DW to making her their queen. Damn, if she didn't have that ticket, this episode would have been over in 20 minutes. DW realizes the demonic doppelgangers are the polar opposite of her friends, though that doesn't stop them from being just as annoying.
I can be quieter than you.
Wow, they really turned the Tibble trash into actual trash. As the new queen, DW's first order is to have the monsters throw her the biggest party the island has ever seen. The monstrous munchkins stay up all night dancing to a song called Big Beastie Boogaloo. That's what this special should have been called. So yeah, if it wasn't abundantly obvious, this special is a blatant ripoff of Where the Wild Things Are, a very famous children's book about a rebellious kid who runs away to an island of monsters where he becomes their king. Apparently, this was one of the books that originally inspired Mark Brown to become a writer. I get that the special was probably meant to be an homage to that original inspiration, though I don't think Maurice Sendak would be too thrilled to see this half-baked bastardization of his beloved book. Back at the planetarium, Arthur wakes up to find his teacher dressed as the world's oldest douchebag. The kids are shocked to learn a wormhole has transported them 4 years into the future. Arthur and friends go out to explore the far-off future year of 2021, where cell phones have holograms and all the restaurants are sugar-free. Hooray! Arthur returns home to find his family waiting for him, including DW, who appears to be cosplaying as Cindy Lou Who if she had malaria. But wait, that can't be DW.
And Kate!
Yep, baby Kate is all grown up and has been forced to wear her older sister's hand-me-downs. Arthur is shocked to learn DW is now 9 years old, cause I guess he forgot how math works. Not only that, but now she's going by Dora instead of DW.
She decided she actually likes the name.
I don't know, F.U. Dora doesn't have quite the same ring to it. Kate drags Arthur upstairs so they can explore Dora's room. Arthur quickly realizes that Kate is even more annoying than DW. Speaking of which, Arthur finds his little sister lurking in the doorway, who I guess is now technically his older sister. Dora is reunited with her brother for the first time in 4 years, and the first thing she does is ask about her goddamn snowball.
And I still want my snowball back!
Jesus, would you?
I'm kidding. I haven't thought about that old thing in years.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that. The kids head downstairs, but not before Dora threatens to kick Kate's ass for going in her room. There's the DW I remember. Arthur reminisces with his sister, who's finally started to mellow with age, as she's traded in Mary Moo Cow for mainstream anime. Wait, so she loves anime and she has a shirt with her name in katakana? Oh my god, DW is a weeb. She's Dora Weeb. Back in the present, Bud finds everyone's hiding spot in record time. Not because he's a good seeker, but because everyone else sucks at hiding. Seriously, Emily, how exactly did you think this would play out? The kids realize DW is still missing and search the house trying to find her.
Now where would I be if I were DW?
Did you try checking hell? We then cut back to the island of Misfit Twerps, where DW is abusing the birds and the bugs for her own amusement. DW has only been queen for 1 day, and already she's grown bored of having unlimited power. DW learns that there's another monster on the island called Ruthra, that all the other monsters are afraid of. They tell her that Ruthra is the biggest, meanest, most disobedient monster in the whole world.
And disobedient.
Hey, I already said that.
I said it better.
Ah, cram it, you abominable abortion. The Queasy Queen demands to meet with Ruthra, so she can force him to bend the knee.
I'm the queen of this island. Everyone everyone has to bow down to me.
Yeah, take it down a notch, Queen Victoria. DW goes off in search of Ruthra and finds him in a cave playing with himself. It turns out Ruthra is the monstrous version of Arthur. Oh, I get it, cause Ruthra is Arthur spelled back. Wait, no it isn't. What the hell? DW marches up to the four-eyed freak and demands he respect her authority. Ruthra refuses to bend the knee, so DW decides to break his knees. She gets her brain-dead goons to blindside the beast and chain him up for her amusement. DW then sums up the entirety of colonialism in one sentence.
You are going to bow down to me whether you like it or not.
DW tries to trick Ruthra into bowing down by torturing him with the most annoying sound in the whole world.
Let's all count to one! Let's all count to one!
Back in the future, Arthur wakes up to find Kate standing over him like a goddamn creeper. Kate drags her brother out of bed so they can play. Kate is so excited, she even made her brother a breakfast muffin, which looks like the inside of my toilet after I first started keto. Arthur blows off Kate so he can hang out with Buster and Dora at the Hover Park, which is an indoor skate park that has all the futuristic engineering of an air hockey table. Arthur gets upset when Dora has to leave early to finish her homework.
Oh, come on. Can't it wait, DW?
What the f did you just call me?
I meant Dora.
That's what I thought, you little bitch. Buster says Dora is the coolest kid he knows, as he's apparently forgotten how big of a brat she used to be.
I just remember you always trying to get away from her.
Why the hell do you think that was, Buster? Arthur gets back home to find Dora blew him off to hang out with her friends. When Arthur confronts her about it, the four-eyed fibber straight up lies to his face. She then blows him off again to do her homework, and yells at him to turn the TV down. Maybe she hasn't mellowed out as much as I thought. Back in Ukubanga, the monsters try to urge DW to throw the revolting Ruthra into the volcano. DW says they're not allowed to lay a finger on her senpai, since he's the only one who doesn't blindly agree with everything she says, even though you would think that's what DW wants the most. DW goes back to Ruthra, who reveals he used to be the ruler of the island. He explains that he also ran away on his birthday and became the king of Ukubanga until he got bored and ran off to live alone, where he devolved into a hideous beast. Wait, so does that mean that all the monsters were once kids who ran away? Why would their imaginary friends send them to this island unless they were trying to get rid of them? Is Nadine trying to exile DW? And if she is, why didn't she try this sooner? DW realizes she'll suffer the same fate as Ruthra unless she leaves the island, but that's when Ruthra reveals that she can't leave the island.
Once you're here forever.
Oh well, good riddance, DW. We then cut back to the future, where we see Dora calling the Tibble Tremors from outer space. Oh great, that's exactly what the world needed. Tibbles in space.
Want to see me eat peas?
You know, that'd probably work better if you took off your helmet. Also, I don't care how far into the future this is, no kid is calling their friends on their phone. If this was really the future, she'd be DMing them reels of Zootopia AI slop. Arthur apologizes for being a bad older brother, as he realizes Dora is treating him the same way he used to treat her in the past, though the main difference is that Arthur was never a whiny little Arthur asks his sister if she wants to play, but Dora decides to blow him off again. What the hell? We then return to Ukubanga, where DW hatches a scheme to get her and Ruthra off the island. She frees her beastly brother from his shackles and leaves the other monsters to worship a hollow-headed dummy. Weren't they already doing that? The monsters discover DW's ruse and summon the viperous jungle vines to destroy her sailboat. It looks like DW is a goner, until Ruthra sacrifices himself to save her, and I can honestly say I would not have done the same. Back in the future, Arthur realizes that even though it's too late to be friends with Dora, he can still spend time with Kate, who just so happens to have the Puffin MacGuffin DW wanted for her birthday. Remember that one toy they randomly mentioned at the start of the special and then completely forgot about until right now? I'm so glad that came full circle. Arthur tries to play Tea Party with Kate, but ends up getting lulled to sleep by her word-for-word recounting of the importance of being earnest. Surprise, surprise, it turns out Arthur's entire adventure was just a dream. Who could have seen that coming? He rushes to the toy store to get DW a present, only to find they're already closed. He begs the store owner to let him in, otherwise his sister will turn into an even bigger bitch than she already is. Speaking of which, it turns out DW's island adventure was also a dream. It feels like the Arthur team put this whole special together in their sleep. DW says she's glad to be home, until she realizes her friends have stopped looking for her. DW refuses to come out of the closet. She says she won't go back to the party until her friends find her, even though she's the one who hid from them in the first place. Arthur gets home to find DW's birthday has completely fizzled out. Even their parents seem to have ditched this lame-ass party. He finds her hiding in the cupboard, which apparently used to be his old hiding spot. I guess that makes him the second kid with round glasses to live under a staircase. Arthur gives her the MacGuffin, and instead of saying thank you, DW demands a birthday card to go along with her new toy. The ungrateful git chews him out for getting her the wrong card, and tells him to quit hogging all the space.
You should eat less.
Glad to see DW has learned absolutely nothing over the course of the entire special. So yeah, if you couldn't tell, I really don't care for this special. Not only is it poorly written and poorly animated, but it completely ruins one of my favorite children's books. They somehow managed to rip off the main story beats from Where the Wild Things Are, while completely missing the whole point of the story. In the original book, the monsters are an amalgamation of the boys' feelings and fears and show what it's like for a kid to work through their emotions. Here, the monsters are just caricatures of everything DW doesn't like about her friends and family. DW doesn't even learn a lesson. She just leaves the island because she gets bored and goes right back to being mean to her brother. So I think it's fair to say that DW's Beastly Birthday is the worst Arthur special of all time. Don't believe me? Let's review. DW spent her entire 5th birthday whining about how her life isn't perfect. Again, she blamed her parents for not getting her the toy she wanted and then yelled at her friends when they wouldn't do whatever she wanted. She then spent the rest of her birthday hiding from her friends and ran off to an imaginary island where she made herself queen of the Garbage Pail Kids. When she got bored of having unlimited power, she chose to run away again and left her poor beastly brother for dead. And when she finally woke up from her delusional fantasy, she didn't even thank her brother for getting her a toy and instead chose to yell at him for not giving her the perfect gift. But DW wasn't the only birthday beast in this episode, lest we forget her future self from Arthur's adventure, who proved to be just as big a brat as her 5-year-old counterpart. Dora went from being a pint-sized pain to a full-grown weeb, who can't even make time for her brother. She blew him off at every turn and made up excuses just so she wouldn't have to be around him. And even when Arthur apologized for being mean to her in the past, she still refused to give him the time of day. And yeah, I know this version of Dora was just in Arthur's dream, but I'm not gonna pass up the chance to say F you to 2 DWs. Firstly, F you future Dora for blowing off your brother and lying about wanting to spend time with him. And of course, for ruining her own birthday party by running off to an imaginary dystopia and then getting mad at the one person who actually cared about her. F you DW. Thanks for watching, everyone. If there's a specific cartoon you want me to watch, top-tier patrons can commission a review from my channel. You can also become a channel member to get early access to all my uncensored videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. If you can learn to work and play and get along with each other.